The history of the company began more than 100 years ago, and during this time, the brand has become one of the most recognizable in the automotive world. Today, Nissan is among the top 10 global automakers. With varying success, the brand competes with Honda for second place. Over the years, the company has had to overcome reorganizations, difficult wartime periods, and many other obstacles, which ultimately allowed it to become one of the largest global automotive corporations. But where did it all begin? Today, we will tell you how the Nissan car brand was born and how the company's president made all of Japan believe in its success. The first cars under the Datsun brand, the production of engines for military aviation, why Nissan acquired a major automotive brand, the creation of jet engines, the development of a sports car that took the market by storm, competition with Volvo, an experimental safe car, the Nissan division that gave the world many sports cars, and how the company created the best-selling electric vehicle. The history of Nissan began in 1911 when the first Kaishinsha automobile plant was established. It is worth noting that its founder, Masujiro Hashimoto, is considered the pioneer of automobile manufacturing in Japan. For the first 3 years, the company was only engaged in developing and refining ideas. However, in 1914, the first car, the Dot car, appeared, which had an original design and was similar to a box in its construction. The second company that would later play a role in Nissan's history is Jitsuyo Jidosha. This organization began operating in 1919, and its key development was a 3-wheeled car. This manufacturer was more open to incorporating foreign technologies into its production and actively purchased various components and equipment from the USA, quickly earning a reputation as one of the most modern car manufacturing plants. In 1926, Nissan's history approached its key moment. The management of both companies decided to merge. Yoshisuke Aikawa took the position of president, and his first order was to produce the first Datsun cars, received from the Tabata casting division. In 1934, Nissan's history saw the first plant under this name, Nissan Yokohama Plant. Nissan's history developed quite rapidly because Datsun cars were popular in different countries, and were exported not only to Asian countries but also to South and Central American states. However, the export consisted of only 44 cars. Aikawa immediately began achieving excellent results in his position, and the shareholders did not doubt their decision to appoint him. Over the following years, he absorbed many small and medium-sized enterprises. Moreover, Nissan's history even inspired the Japanese and made them believe that the automobile industry under such leadership could develop. The director's plans were indeed grand. He intended to expand production and ensure the manufacture of 10,000 to 15,000 cars annually. Remarkably, he almost managed to achieve this result. In 1935, car exports to Australia began. In those days, Datsun cars symbolized Japan's rapidly growing advantages in modern industrialization, and as proof, the slogan "Rising Sun" appeared. The Datsun flag, the car of choice. In 1939, after successful sales in the car market, large Nissan Type 70 cars, Nissan Type 90 buses, and Nissan Type 80 vans. (1943) became one of the key years in Nissan's history. The company completed the construction of its second plant but could no longer manufacture its trucks and cars due to the ongoing war. In the second half of 1944, the management decided to move its headquarters to Tokyo and slightly change the corporation's name to Nissan Highway Industries. Throughout the war, the company fulfilled exclusively government orders, manufacturing various trucks and supplying engines for military aviation. Nissan's history did not stop as a result of World War II. It almost immediately returned to the production of serial cars. In 1945, the primary firm began producing trucks, and at the beginning of the next year, it decided to return its headquarters to Yokohama. Passenger cars under the Datsun brand also returned to Nissan, but only in 1947. To fully recover from the war's aftermath, Nissan decided to buy part of Minsei Diesel Motors shares and enter into a technical cooperation agreement with Austin Motor to produce cars of this brand on its assembly lines. In 1953, Nissan's history took an unexpected turn. It established its own trade union organization. The key task of this union was to form more modern relationships between management and ordinary workers based on mutual respect and trust. In 1958, the company decided to be more active in the global market and resumed exports to the United States. Moreover, it also participated in various competitions to increase brand recognition. For example, two Datsun 210S participated in the Rally Championship held in Australia, which was considered one of the most challenging at that time. They even managed to win first place in their class. Having gained recognition from customers in Japan, the Datsun brand became synonymous with small, high-quality cars. The process of automobilization continued its triumphant march in the Japanese market, and in August 1958, Nissan rolled off the assembly line a high-class car, the Datsun Bluebird, designed for personal use. At that time, domestic cars were considered less practical than imported ones, as they required more effort from the driver when braking. One notable feature was the use of power-assisted front brakes by Japanese manufacturers for the first time, allowing even delicate women to brake with a light press on the pedal. The first generation of the Bluebird embodied the features of a reliable and attractive car. By the end of the 1960s, Japan had become the second largest economy in the world by gross domestic product, second only to the United States. In many respects, it was an undisputed world leader. This was largely due to automobile companies, which, despite difficulties and shareholder skepticism, proved to the world that they could produce a quality product. In the 1960s, Nissan acquired the company Prince Motor. Prince Motors became famous for its stylish, prestigious, and expensive models, among which the Prince Skyline Coupe stood out. Familiar names, aren't they? Prince Motors was doing so well that one fine day, Nissan decided to add the former aircraft manufacturer's model lineup to its product portfolio. In 1961, Nissan acquired Prince and, keeping the brand's models, quickly got rid of the trademark itself. As a result, Nissan's lineup was supplemented with new models, Skyline and Gloria, and a single highly qualified team of engineers was created. Anticipating the advent of the high-speed car era, the Gloria model was equipped with one of the most powerful engines of that time. The car also provided excellent driving comfort. In May 1964, during the Grand Prix in Japan, the Super 6 took the lead from the very start of the race and, with a huge gap, came in first, winning the championship title. In September 1963, the production of the second-generation Skyline was announced.
お好きこれね今度僕買ったんですよ素敵でしょプリンスのスカイライン
This model gained fame as a small, convenient family car, simple and reliable in handling and maintenance. The car's engine had a 2-year warranty or 30,000 kilometers of mileage. The chassis did not require lubrication for 30,000 kilometers. The materials used for the ball joints repelled dirt, which increased the durability of the parts. For this, the car received the highest technical award from the Society of Automotive Engineers. Subsequently, in February 1965, the Skyline 2000 GTB was released. Although the model was positioned as a sports car, the Skyline 2000 GTB became a mass-produced car, ensuring high sales volumes. The standard configuration included 3 Weber carburetors made in Italy, which had the best characteristics in the world. Even the most discerning drivers could not help but appreciate the car's excellent performance. The popular Skyline S54B model won the rally in Japan and won all the tours without exception, surpassing all the most famous foreign sports car analogs. The car Sunny, which appeared on the market in 1966, heralded the beginning of the era of personal cars in Japan, which became a huge driving force against the backdrop of the rapidly growing small car market. In 1966, a trend of a steady increase in the number of people with enough leisure time to enjoy driving their own cars began to emerge. Despite the fact that the Nissan Bluebird remained a popular family car, it was unaffordable for young employees. In response to the situation, Nissan developed and launched the Datsun Sunny 1000 on the market, aiming to provide customers with high quality at an affordable price. Being a compact class car, an entirely new category at the time, the Sunny became the most popular in the process of Japan's general automobilization. The car's name perfectly matched its image, which was defined as full of sunshine, bright, lively, and young. In 1966, the Nissan Prince R 380 car took third place in the Japanese rally, competing with the legendary Porsche 906. In the mid-60s, Nissan needed to strengthen its position in the international market. And what serves this purpose best? Of course, a sports car. Thus, with the Nissan 240Z model, also known as the Datsun 240Z, the Z era began in the company's history. When it entered the US market in 1970, the Datsun 240Z simply exploded onto the scene. The Japanese created a light, sporty, and beautifully designed car, and its price of $3,500 made the dominant muscle cars on the local market quite nervous. It's no surprise that the Datsun 240Z sold 135,000 units in just 3 years, an astounding result for a new sports car. The Z design was drawn by Yoshikazu Tsuo in the late 60s, who was the head of Nissan's sports car styling studio. Classic sports proportions, 2- and 3-door body styles, and a certain resemblance to the Ferrari GT and Jaguar E-Type appealed to buyers. Initially, the model was released in Japan in October 1969 as the Nissan Fairlady Z. Under the hood was a 2-liter inline 6-cylinder L20 engine with 130 horsepower. However, in the US it came with a much more powerful dual-carburetor L24 engine with 150 horsepower. With a light body weighing 1,044 kilograms and such an engine, the 240 accelerated to 100 kilometers per h in just 9 seconds, and its top speed reached 204 kilometers per h. Year by year, sales volumes increased. In 1969, total export deliveries reached 1 million cars. In February 1970, it was the 4-stage solid-fuel launch vehicle Lambda 4S, created by Nissan engineers, that launched Osumi, Japan's first artificial satellite, into orbit. In the same year, the company began expanding its production sphere, also engaging in the production of engines for the shipbuilding industry. The increase in the number of cars on the roads led to a rise in the number of accidents and environmental pollution. In 1971, Nissan developed the first experimental safe car, applying more safety improvement technologies than ever before. To prevent further air pollution, Japan aligned its exhaust emission standards with the US Clean Air Act. Although these standards were practically unattainable in reality, they nevertheless allowed the successful implementation of a 3-way catalytic converter system, the most advanced technology of that time. Thus, significant steps were taken towards improvement in the field of automotive electronics and component materials. The two energy crises of the 1970s initiated a rapid growth in the export of small Japanese cars, known for their excellent fuel economy and superior quality. At that time, American manufacturers were not at the forefront of creating compact cars. Their low sales led to factory closures and mass layoffs. As a result, social disagreements arose, leading to increased protectionist sentiments and requests for import quotas on Japanese cars. For Japanese companies, this resulted in the opening of factories in the United States. In 1972, Japan's total car production reached 10 million. For many years, Nissan had a high reputation as a manufacturer of high-quality cars and a pioneer in creating various advanced technologies aimed at improving fuel economy. Nissan created various types of materials to reduce car weight, such as high-tensile sheet steel for body panels, and developed advanced engine management systems to control the combustion process. Additionally, Nissan became a pioneer in the development and use of CAD/CAM systems, systems for designing cars using computers and industrial robots. In 1981, Nissan began promoting its cars worldwide under the Nissan brand, which became part of the company's new corporate strategy. In November 1981, the Nissan Technical Center was opened. Although Nissan cars have been participating in motorsports since the early 1960s, it was only in 1984 that the company decided to create a special racing division called Nissan Motorsport, Nismo. The Nismo racing division of Nissan is not as widely known to the general public as, for example, BMW. If you delve into the matter, you will find that one of the best companies, which has given the world many outstanding sports cars, prepared 2 prototypes, the Nissan R85V and Nissan R86V of Group C, for the 24 Hours of Le Mans race just 2 years after Nismo was established. Unfortunately, due to a number of technical problems, the R86 retired from the race, while the other prototype was more successful, finishing in 16th place. Nevertheless, the Japanese gained the much-needed experience and data for analysis for the young team. In 1990, Nismo engineers got their hands on the legendary Nissan Skyline GT-R 32. From the very beginning of its racing career, the car achieved cult status. It completely dominated the domestic Japanese GT Championship Group A, winning 29 out of 29 races. In addition, the R32 Nismo won prizes in 24-hour races. According to homologation rules, only 500 units of the Nissan GT-R Nismo were produced. They differed from the standard GT-R R32 with a lighter body, a more efficient turbocharger, and improved aerodynamics. It was with the 32 Skyline that the Nismo brand began to gain recognition and appeal. Moreover, the company's success was aided by video games. This may seem insignificant, but thanks to games, most sports cars enjoyed huge popularity, which greatly contributed to brand recognition in Western countries. In Europe, the main proponents of retro style in car design are Mini, Fiat, and Volkswagen, and the main retro brand in Japan is Nissan. The company embraced old-school aesthetics even before it became a trend. The first Nissan in retro-futuristic style debuted back in 1987. This cutie was called the Nissan B1. It was a 3-door K car without Nissan badges, which could only be purchased by individual order and only in Japan. To stir up interest in the B1, Nissan took an unusual step and limited the production of the model. In just over a year, only 10,000 units were produced. An important point, despite high demand, they did not increase the production run. Instead, they continued the retro theme with the release of other models. In the same year, a new division of Nissan was created in the USA, Infinity Division of Nissan North America, producing luxury cars that compete with Mercedes, BMW, and Lexus. In November 1989, the famous Infinity Q45 model appeared on the market. But that's another story. For a long time, the Nissan brand did not have an emblem as such. The Japanese managed for decades with a simple Nissan badge on the radiator grille and did not worry much about it. Imagine a full-fledged emblem, a plaque with the inscription Nissan against the background of the rising sun, appeared only in 1989. Another surprise, Nissan actually went through at least 30 versions of the brand logo. Yes, the scale of most changes varies from insignificant, but the fact remains. In 1990, the 300ZX model also reached a total production of 50 million cars in January 1990. In 1994, sales of the new generation Maxima QX began in Europe, and in 1995, the Almera. Nissan actively worked on environmental protection issues, which have recently begun to attract more and more attention. The company's environmental protection efforts include creating clean power sources for cars and extensive activities for the reuse of natural resources. Since 1997, Nissan has been producing one model after another, equipped with gasoline engines with direct fuel injection and diesel engines with direct injection. On March 27, 1999, Nissan and the French company Renault signed an agreement to create a global alliance to achieve profitable growth for both companies. Carlos Ghosn was appointed CEO of Nissan, the first non-Japanese person in this position. On October 18, 1999, Nissan announced the company's Revival Plan, a comprehensive reorganization plan created to achieve sustainable profitable growth for the company on a global level. Thanks to the Revival Plan, Nissan took confident steps to increase the attractiveness and competitiveness of its products while reducing costs and debt. From April 2002, the company continued to move forward by approving a new business plan, Nissan 180, aimed at achieving an additional sales volume of 1 million cars worldwide within 3 years, achieving 8% operating profit and 0 automotive debt. In the same year, Nissan acquired 13.5% of Renault's shares and then increased its stake to 15%. In 2003, the business-class car Nissan Teana appeared, which remains in demand despite its venerable age. In 2006, the most popular models in Asia appeared on the market, and the 100,000th unit was noted. Asian dealers sold more than 15,000 cars in 2006. The brand ranked fourth in sales. This success was achieved in particular thanks to the emergence of Nissan Motor. In 2010, the women's car Nissan Juke, only 4 meters long, was released. The extravagant appearance of this model attracts attention. In 2010, the electric car Nissan Leaf was released. First-generation electric cars are still the best-selling electric vehicles in the world. Mass sales of the Leaf in the markets of Japan, the USA, Australia, and several European countries are due to its functionality and compliance with environmental safety requirements. The name of the electric car reflects the company's environmentally friendly position. Nissan's further plan is to expand the company's presence worldwide. Great hopes are also placed on the promotion of the Infiniti brand. It will be positioned as a global first-class luxury brand. To support the strategy of significant geographical expansion of the company's presence in the global market, 28 brand new models of Nissan and Infiniti will be released for various countries. Today, Nissan is an excellent example of a fast-growing company building its success on the principles of strong positioning and strategies expressed in the company's global mission to produce unique and innovative cars. Which brand's history would you like to see in the next video? Write in the comments. As soon as this video gets 10,000 likes, we will delight you with a new interesting story.